Hello everyone, this is my life vlog for the week of September 28th, 2025 to October 4th, 2025. How was your week first and foremost? Was it good? Were you having fun? Did you enjoy yourself? I hope you did. This week, my mood was not good. I was so irritable and I hate being irritable. I hate getting angry. I hate any sort of negative emotion unless I'm crying from like a fan fiction being too sad, or a movie or a show or an anime being too sad. I hate any negative emotion. I don't like the way it makes me feel. I don't like how I feel after I've calmed down. I just hate it. But for some reason, throughout the year, I'll get these random periods of time where I'm so irritable and I get pissed off at the smallest of things and I overreact. And I know I'm overreacting, and then I calm down and I try to be like, no, it is okay. How I'm feeling is valid, because I understand it is. But at the same time, I'm like, this is just like the smallest, most ridiculous things to be getting upset over. But at the same time, I can't control it. So I don't know what's up with that. But in other news, the weather this week was perfect. It was optimal, perfect, the best fall weather ever. I mean, Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. No, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Wow, sorry Tuesday, I completely forgot about you. But from Sunday to Tuesday, it was pretty overcast. I think it rained a couple of times, but mostly it was just overcast. Wednesday was a little bit of both, but Thursday, Friday, and Saturday today, perfect. Equal amounts of sun and wind. The sun was out, but it wasn't too harsh. The wind was there, but it wasn't too harsh. The wind, oh my god, the rustling of the leaves was so perfect. And the sun on my skin felt amazing. And then the wind canceling out the heat of the sun. Just perfect fall. I am so grateful and happy to be living in a place that experiences the transitional seasons of spring and fall, because I love fall so much. I just love fall so much. Just so much. Devastating news from this week is that my beloved flats that I wore all summer long everywhere fell apart at the seams. They fell apart at the seams. Oh my gosh. Okay, to be fair, I knew it was coming because for the past, I would say, month or so-ish, my what is it called? The left, like the toe part of the left shoe had been coming a little bit undone, but I was like, it's fine, I can deal with it. But oh my god, the right shoe was so much worse. And I only noticed while I was at the doctor's office yesterday with my grandmother. It was so much worse. I'm like, how did I not notice this before? I've been looking up cobblers for a few weeks after I noticed that the toe of the left shoe was coming undone. I've been looking up cobblers in the area. The closest one is over an hour away. The closest one is over an hour away, and the reviews are barely above 2.5. So, and then I was talking to my mom about that. I was like, should I learn how to cobble these shows? Girl, I was telling my mom, I was like, should I learn to cobble these shoes? She was like, we have more. I was like, yeah, I know, but I'm really attached to these because I got this specific pair in Udaipur when I went to India with my mom last year. And oh my god, they were like the first pair of mortardy jutis I got to pick out by myself in person, because every other time it was just like them sending us pictures and us being like, oh yeah, I kind of like this one, yeah, I like this one. But this was the first time I got to go in store, try them on, pick out which one I wanted, and they're so gorgeous. They're like the most gorgeous pair ever, and I love them so much. Sorry, I got interrupted. Point is, yes, we have more, but I'm attached to that specific pair. But I'm going to have to retire them because they are genuinely impossible to walk in. But I think I might just keep them around to go and stand outside in the driveway or the grass when I feel like photosynthesizing, because they're intact enough for me to wear them as long as I'm not doing any sort of walking. But like in the driveway of my own house, it's fine, you know what I mean? I don't want to throw them away. They fell apart just in time for fall to really start. As I said, the weather this week was really good. That's why I'm thinking about it. And it really got me thinking, what are some of my essentials for fall? And I wanted to share them with you all. First and foremost, journaling. I don't know what it is about journaling, but it is so perfect for the fall season. I feel like I'm journaling more in the fall than any other season, and I'm suspicious. I believe it's because there is just so much about fall that there is to write about. There is so much about fall that makes me want to write about it, you know? The weather changing. I can write about the weather changing. I can write about how I'm feeling about the weather changing. I can write about the trees and the plants and how beautiful and gorgeous everything looks and just how wonderful everything feels. I can write about the fashion trends that are changing, how I'm feeling about the fashion trends that are changing. There's just so much to write about. I feel like I'm always writing in the fall, and I love it. I genuinely love it so much. So journaling, optimal. Ooh, I'm using that word a lot today. So journaling is an essential for me. Next is reading. Much like journaling, I find myself doing this more this time of the year than any other time of the year. It's just such a cozy activity to be doing. Along with that, going to the library. Reading and library go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. And sleeping early as well, because it's going to get darker outside earlier. Evenings start feeling slower, lazier, and just a little bit like you want to curate more coziness because of it. And then you just fall asleep earlier. Those are essentials. You cannot say no to them. And the thing is, these are a package of comfort and coziness. You just want to maximize as much coziness, as much comfort as you can in fall and winter. And fall is where you lay the groundwork for the coziness and the comfiness. Next, layering. Layering is so essential in the fall. I feel like everyone says this because it's true, duh. Layers, specifically the kind that you can take off, because we're hitting that time of the year where it's freezing in the morning, kind of unbearably hot in the afternoon, usually at times, and then chilly again at night, variations of that. So you want layers that you can take off and put back on, you know, comfy, cute, and it's still that time of the year where it's not so cold that the layers are so bulky and heavy that you're gonna be like, oh, I have to really carry this everywhere. Do I really have to carry this everywhere? No, a cardigan you can just throw in your backpack if you have one. A cardigan you can just put over your arm to carry around. You can tie around your waist, etc., etc. I love layering. Layering is just, it's fall. Wow, fall is the perfect season to layer functionally and aesthetically, if you so wish, you know what I mean? Hand creams that you're actually going to carry around with you everywhere, because oh my gosh, this is huge essential. Like I said, I was with my grandmother at the eye place the other day, literally yesterday, and I noticed that my hands were so freaking dry, but I didn't have hand cream with me. And so I was just so suddenly aware of how dry my hands are. You know, when you don't really realize something, but then you are suddenly so aware of it that you cannot unnotice it. Like my skin felt so tight, so dry, and I was like, as try as I might, I could not focus on anything except how dry my hands were feeling and how I have no lotion, no hand cream, no any type of cream to relieve that dryness. So I need to get on that. I need to. And the thing is, I usually have hand cream in my purse with me. I just don't know why I didn't yesterday. That's when I realized this is definitely an essential. Long socks. Listening to music. Wired earbuds. Listening to music on wired earbuds while sitting on the swings. Oh my gosh. Wow. I cannot remember the last time I did this, but recently I've been like, I really want to do that again. The last time I did this, I must have been in early high school sometime, and let me tell you, I look back on that and I'm just like, this is what it means to be alive. This is the purpose of life. Listening to music while sitting on a swing. Granted, our swings are now not in the best shape anymore, so I don't know how reliable they are, but I could give it a go. I can give it a go again. I'm excited. I love that. Next, I can barely read my own handwriting. I'm so sorry. Oh, volunteering. This is another thing that's very year-round, but I feel like as we transition to the colder seasons, it is even more essential to go out and help your community, help wherever you can. This season, Why am I glitching? It is a season, duh. This autumn, I really want to get out and volunteer so much more. I've been lacking in that department. I am ashamed to admit, but I do want to get out and do more volunteering, because it's like, what else am I doing otherwise with my time? I could be helping others. I could be feeling like an actual part of this world, of this community, like I'm actually serving some sort of purpose other than just sitting around reading fan fiction, which, don't get me wrong, I love sitting around and reading fan fiction, but sometimes it is nice to get up and get moving. And volunteering is such an easy and convenient, usually, and helpful way to do that. Helpful not just for yourself, but like I said, your community and the world that you live in. Volunteer. Candles are very fall. I don't have any fall-y candles. Actually, let me smell this one I have. This is the candle I have. Smell that. I need it. Don't look at it. I need to trim the wick, but smell that. I wouldn't say it's fall, or maybe it would have felt like fall if I hadn't been burning it spring and summer. And I don't really care. I'm like, I could burn this. I feel like this is a scent that is neutral enough to be a year-round candle. Candles, I guess they're not really an essential. I just feel like they would help intensify, help curate the vibes of being cozy and warm, especially in the evening time, when if you don't want to have the overhead lighting on, if you want to have dim lighting, candles can really help with that. Actually, this year the candles for fall have just been really lackluster. Like, they've been really disappointing. They all kind of smell similar. Anyway, next, what I want to watch The Little Vampire. It's free on YouTube with ads right now, and I started watching it a couple of days ago, but it was really late at night, so I stopped 10 minutes in to go to sleep because I was so tired. And then I left a little sticky note reminder for myself to finish watching it, and I haven't gotten around to it, but I want to get around to it before it's gone from free with ads, which I feel like might happen soon. I don't want it to happen. I really want to watch it. I loved that movie so much as a kid. It was a little bit scary, it was a little bit spooky, but I love it so much. It was one of mine and my siblings' most watched movies when we were children. We had it on cassette and everything, and oh my gosh, I loved it. So I'm gonna read that. And what I want to read this fall is the Poison Apple books. Does anybody remember these? I feel like every time I mention them, every time I bring them up, someone is always confused, but I swear they used to be so popular back in the day. I'm talking maybe late 2010s, early 2010s, because I remember being in elementary school, then being at the book fairs, and me salivating at the mouth, being like, I want that so bad, like, and now you can't even find them in the library, nor can you find their counterpart, the candy apple books. Oh my gosh, wow, those books, I love the candy apple series, I love the poison apple series, and I'm pretty sure they have a third, like, subset called the zombie apple or something like that. I never read those, but I remember seeing the covers. They were green apples. I don't know. Am I sounding crazy? Point is, they're a collection of books written by separate authors that are middle grade, I believe, and they're a little bit unsettling, a little bit spooky. They all take place in the fall time, around Halloweenish or in the fall time, and they just have this spooky little vibe, and they're so good. I don't care if they're for children. I, as an adult, love to read them, and I've been meaning to sit down and read the entire set, or the books that we have at home anyway. I've been meaning to sit down and reread those, and what better time than October, than fall? So I'm hoping to work through them either this month, as in the month of October, or November. Let me share with you what I want to do this fall. I want to go to the library. As I mentioned, reading and library go hand in hand. Something about libraries in the fall is so peak. It is like the best place to be in the fall. It's the best place to be in the fall. Of course, go year round. I feel like I'm saying that so often, but yes, libraries, support your local libraries. Always show love to your libraries, and especially in the fall, it is a great place for so many resources. There are so many things you can get from the library other than books. So many resources that a library has to offer, and people just don't utilize them properly. #1 library supporter till I die. When I get famous and I have so much money, when I'm a gajillionaire, billionaire, gazillionaire, ethically, sounds so stupid, I'm going to build so many libraries and I'm going to sponsor so many libraries that you are going to be sick of me. But guess what? You're also going to be like, yes, thank you so much. We need libraries. We love libraries. It is going to be the rejuvenation of the love for libraries, even more than what is happening right now. Trust. Okay, I want to walk around our main street a little bit more. Like I said, I live in a place that is so lucky to have fall and the fall vibes and the fall atmosphere that I want to experience it. And I feel like Main Street in my hometown is kind of a little bit of the heart. It's a little bit of the happening place of the town. So fall, happening of the town, you put them hand in hand. Perfect mix. Duh. So yeah, honestly, and also the decorations that we have up in fall. Oh my gosh, beautiful. I want to talk to friends more. I want to talk to friends more. It is such a cozy activity, talking with friends, especially with the political and economic state of the world. I can't take myself seriously when I say the political and economic state of the world, because that video and that meme plays in my head, but I'm serious. With the way that the political and economic state of the world is, I feel like talking to friends is essential. You just need a little symbol of hope, and friendship is such a beautiful sign of hope in my opinion. So talking to friends is cozy, and it's also happy. Just show up for them, be like, yes, the world sucks right now. Yes, it's miserable. Yes, it feels like things are only getting worse, but friendship prevails. I want to be outside more. I'm not an outside person by any means, but fall, like I said, fall is my favorite season. I want to be out and about. I want to be photosynthesizing. I want to be listening to the leaves rustling. I want to be looking at the leaves changing colors. I want to be stepping on all those crunchy leaves. I want to be experiencing the wind in my hair, the sun in my face. Oh my god, it's gonna be perfect. I want to be out there. I want to be out there more. What I want to be wearing this season, jean jacket. I got a jean jacket from Old Navy, I want to say. My sister and I were at the mall, and the entire mall was having this giant, what is it called, giant doorbuster sale over summer. And so we were at what is the store I just said, Old Navy. They were having a sale, and the jacket that I got, I fell in love with it almost immediately after trying it on. And it was placed in a position where it made it seem like that one was 40% off. It was not 40% off. It was not 40% off, so you best believe I'm going to wear the hell out of that jacket. I just need to figure out how to style it, because I feel like none of my outfits that I'm used to wearing when I go out and about really go well with a jean jacket. So I'm like, I could switch things around and incorporate it better. And I know some people are like, then why did you buy it if you didn't think it was going to fit any of the outfits you wear outside? It's because I know that the thing with me is that I don't care if an outfit works. I just wear it as long as I'm comfortable. I don't care. But recently I've been like, maybe I do want to look a little bit more put together, because what if I'm out and about and the love of my life runs into me? I want to share with you some stuff on my fall wish list. I don't like spending a lot of money. I like to avoid spending money where I can't, but I do have a wish list, okay? First and foremost, flats, which, like I said, we have more flats. I just need to find them. So I wish I could work up the motivation to actually go and find them. I want a good facial moisturizer. The thing with my skin is I have no idea what type of skin I have. I believe it's combination, but I don't know. Like, my cheeks and my chin get really dry. My forehead is pretty normal, and my nose area, my T-zone, can get oily throughout the day. But I also have really sensitive skin, so it breaks out when almost anything touches it. For the past couple of months, I've been relying on aloe vera, but that is not moisturizing enough to carry me through the colder months. So I'm thinking about reverting back to the one I used to use, but that one always made me break out on my forehead. So I'm thinking maybe I'll keep using the aloe vera on my forehead, but use the other moisturizer I used to use on the rest of my face because it worked wonderfully for the rest of my face. I think that's what I might have to do. I'm going to run some trial. What am I saying? I'm not going to run anything. I'm going to try and do that because I have like a little bit of my old moisturizer left. So I'm going to be trying that until that one runs out, and then I'll get back to you if I commit to it. I want a plain long sleeve shirt top that sticks to the skin well, but is not like super tight, but isn't super flowy. I wanted to layer t-shirts over on top. I don't want anything cropped. I don't want anything with a weird funky neckline, which I do appreciate, but not what I'm trying to layer. I just want something that's like a normal long sleeve. For some reason, those are so impossible to find. Like, what is up with that? Enough of the fall stuff. Let me tell you what I've been working on. I've been working a lot on Substack. I adore being on Substack. I love reading what other people have to say. I love writing on there. I love posting on there. And I joined last year and I was on and off for a little bit, but this past month I got really consistent with it. However, I think I want to switch over to maybe Wattpad or something. Because I've been using Substack as a blog, but I'm very much aware it's not a blog, and I'm like, it's going to be such a nightmare for people who subscribe because it's going to be like email from Sonali, email from Sonali, email from Sonali every single day, and it's like I would get so pissed off at that point that I would immediately unsubscribe. But let's keep it to an article, a newsletter a week or so as it was meant to be. You know, so I'm thinking maybe I will switch over to Wattpad because what I write is really just creative nonfiction about my own life. So it would also make sense to have that. Maybe on Substack I will continue posting more helpful stuff that is not exclusive to me, but that is more widely applicable so that people can actually find uses for it and actually want to read it and aren't like, oh my gosh, this girl, she posted again, great, I'll read it when I have time, and then a whole backlog fills up. You know what I mean? Like, I understand it can be really annoying. So next, what I've been loving, my blue light glasses. These arrived last week. They look silly. I know they look so silly, but they make my day every single time I see them because they just make me laugh because they are silly. I have been thinking about these nonstop for weeks. And when I say weeks, I mean maybe 2-3 months. And I had a really bad day last week, I want to say, when I gave in. No, I had a really bad day last week. And that is when I gave in and bought these because I was like, I just need something to brighten my day. Let me tell you, not only does this brighten my day, brighten my entire life. I am obsessed with these things. In the past week, I've also been reading a lot of Jegulus. I've been getting back into Jegulus fanfiction, and if you don't know what Jegulus is, it is literally James Potter, Harry Potter's dad, shipped with Regulus Black, Sirius Black's brother, from the fandom of Harry Potter. And we do not support the author over here. We do not support that original author or her views or whatever she has to say, whatever other nonsense she has to say, but we do support fanfiction. I am an avid fanfiction reader and I love reading fanfics, and you know what? Jegulus has been really doing it for me this past week. I'm getting back into my Jegulus phase. What can I say? What can I say? What can I say? Oh, and today, literally maybe 2 hours ago, my great aunt made pizza using bread slices. Loved it so much. I requested she make more tomorrow and she said yes. So okay, I think that was all for this. Week. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm giving this another try. If you followed me on my old channel, this is something I used to post on that channel, but I stopped. But I was watching those videos again and I was like, wow, I kind of really miss making these, and I love sitting there and just listening to my own voice. I'm sorry, I know how bad that sounds, but I do enjoy playing it in the background whenever I'm doing something. And I think it's a good way to reflect back on my life in the future. I think it will be a good way to reflect back on my life in the future. Anyway, that is all for this week. Let me know how your week went. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Be kind, be smart, and stay safe, everyone. Bye.